Hi guys, this is Flying Flapper and welcome to more Gran Turismo Sport content in the form of the Daily Race B in the Sport mode. We're in the Aston Martin Vulcan N800 road car and we're back at Monza doing 4 laps around that circuit. Now this also introduces the new penalty system added to Gran Turismo more recently. And this race is full of incidents and people trying to bend the rules. It's absolute mayhem, basically. So if you're into your wacky races, then please do sit back and enjoy. And let's get straight into this. Right, guys. So we managed to qualify in 2nd position, not even a 10th off of the pole time. So we've got a good chance for the win here, and we're hoping for a good result. So as we wait for the race to get underway. So as per usual on Gran Turismo, you get the auto drive. So 3, 2, 1, and let's go. So looking to get a good run on first place as we use the slipstream. Draw up alongside of him as we start braking into the first chicane. Now he gets on the brakes a little bit late and runs wide. We just about manage to hang on to it, but then we get shunted by not one but 2 cars. And it's the same Monza Mayhem as the first race. So let's have a look at the replay at the start. So as you can see, we have got a good run on the leader leading into the first chicane. And then you can see both drivers running me off, showing absolutely no mercy. And we find ourselves towards the back of the pack again. So we're in the 11th position. But we get a good run on the Greek driver going around the outside of him. So 10th position, obviously pretty disastrous for me, but we see the British driver giving a massive shunt to the Greek driver who runs well off the circuit, so I'd imagine that's a massive penalty for the British driver. So we go into Lesmo 1, we've got the German on our outside. We have a guy in the middle that looks like he's got a penalty. So we've got the inside line of the German and we move up to 7th position. So just going up the hill to Mascari. As you can see, it's pretty close. Pretty big pack of us as we approach Ascari. So we take a good line in. The Spanish driver takes a really bad line and goes wide. But then we follow his line and we end up cutting the circuit, which does hand us a penalty. And to be honest, a well-deserved penalty. I've got no problems with that at all, but obviously very frustrated with himself. Then on Parabolica we see the 5th place guy go wide. It looks like he's had an incident with himself and the Spanish driver. So we serve our penalty on the outside. And then a car just swerves in front of me and then bang right into the pit lane barrier. So let's have a look at both the incidents. So we ride on board with Gramond, who is the victim of this first incident. So as he goes around Parabolica, he gets a big shunt into the gravel trap and into the barrier. So let's ride on board with the Spanish driver. So he's quite a way behind that guy, but brakes very, very late, hits him, and I think it's an absolute savage move on him, showing absolute no mercy. And I would imagine he gets a penalty as well, but we ride on board with the Portuguese driver, who is the one that swerved in front of us. And you'll see us on the inside, and I'm guessing he might have lost control of the car trying to avoid me. I'm not really sure, but the rear end really does snap out on him, and as he tries to get back on the circuit, he runs straight into the pit lane barrier. So let's have a look at his chase view just to see exactly what happened. So it looks alright on the inside of the Parabolica, and then I think he gets on the power a little bit too early, and that rear end's just snapping out, hitting the barrier, and then smash right into the pit lane barrier, which in effect probably ruined his race. So let's ride back on board with ourselves. Approaching the first chicane, we see the Spanish driver that run the other guy off the circuit, Parabolica, just going straight through the chicane, didn't even bother braking, and going up to 5th position. So I would imagine he got a hefty penalty there, and if he didn't, then I'd be really annoyed with the game, to be honest. So coming up into the first chicane, we get on the brakes early. The German driver takes it a bit too cautious, and we end up sort of tapping him from behind. But to my surprise, we get a big penalty there. And so let's have a look at the replay just to show you how light that tap was, to be honest. So we got on the brakes early, and yes, the slightest of taps, but not affecting his race line or anything. If anything, probably helping him. But we get a penalty, which I really don't agree with. And I'm just really annoyed, because we've done so well to get back up to 7th position after the first turn, and now we've got to serve our penalty. So we brake to get rid of that penalty. Luckily the cars behind are quite some way off, so we remain in 7th position, but we are miles away from the pack in front now. So going into Ascari, get a good line into there. Absolute no dramas, but that is the speed you have to take these chicanes in this road car, because there's just literally no grip whatsoever. So going into Parabolica, we end up having to take the inside line because the Spanish driver, I'm guessing, is serving a penalty there. So we move up to 6th position. All of a sudden we see a yellow flag. I don't exactly know what's happened, but we go into the first chicane, take a good line in, and then you can see the 5th place driver in the distance. So clearly he must have made a mistake at the first chicane, because he's going pretty slow. And as we approach the first chicane, we really close the gap. So we get on the brakes early because we don't want to repeat the same mistake as the previous lap. So we take that nice, and we're really hot on the heels of the Spanish driver now. So going into Lesmo 1, take a tight line in, and going into Lesmo 2. Yeah, we take that nice, he takes that nice as well. But very much keeping the pressure on him as we come up to Ascari. So, get a nice line in, come back out again. We see the 4th place driver in the distance as well, so clearly he's obviously made a mistake himself. So it's looking like this race is full of incidents, full of people cutting corners, getting penalties, crashing into other cars. Just an absolute mess of a race. We get another yellow flag as we approach the start-finish line, and we notice the German driver on the side sort of parked up. So something has happened to him as well. As we come up to the first chicane, we get a good run on the Spanish driver, and we nip in front of him just before the entrance of the chicane. So a good little move on the Spanish driver, and we find ourselves in 4th position. So let's have a look at the German driver and see exactly what happened to him. So it goes around Parabolica, everything looks okay, but I think again he gets on the power too early, and the rear end just snaps on him, and he's just swerving all over the circuit. So let's have a look on his view to get a better view of exactly what happened. So yeah, the rear end just snaps out, it gets on the grass as well, which doesn't help things, and yeah, it's just an absolute mess, hitting the barrier, spinning round as well, and yeah, he loses a lot of positions there. So we ride back on board with ourselves in 4th position on the last lap. The German makes a mistake at Lesmo 1, so we go into Lesmo 2 when we're hot on the heels of him as we start climbing the hill and leading up to Ascari. So at this stage we back off quite a bit because we don't want to make the same mistakes as you know, a couple of laps ago with him. And then we still end up hitting him on the exit of Ascari. He just goes very, very slow, and I don't know if he's trying to troll me or if that's the kind of driver he is. He just takes things way too slow around corners, I'm not sure, but he peels off away after that little knock. As we go around Parabolica, we start catching him up again, but looking like we're going to get 4th position. Then he backs off, so clearly he had a penalty, and we managed to get a podium in the end. So a very topsy-turvy race for myself. You know, what looked so promising at the start, then we found ourselves at the back of the pack at the end of the first corner, and then we still finished 3rd. So now this was the first race that I competed with the new penalty system, and I have to say there are certain things that it gets right and there are certain things it gets wrong. But guys, what do you think of the new penalty system? Do you think this is helping Gran Turismo, or do you think it's ruining the races? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And yeah guys, thank you for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please do hit the like button, subscribe for more content, share with your friends as well, and I'll see you in the next video.